Toto Wolff, Mercedes. Toto Wolff has led Mercedes since 2013 and remains one of the most influential figures in the sport. Under his leadership, the team became a dominant force, claiming 8 consecutive Constructors' Championships and helping Lewis Hamilton to 6 of his 7 drivers' titles. With a background in finance, motorsport, and engineering, Wolff brings a calculated, data-driven approach to team management, and his strategic thinking has earned him respect across the paddock. His leadership style is a balance of emotional intelligence and ruthless efficiency. Despite appearing calm on the surface, Wolff has demonstrated his intensity and passion numerous times, most notably in moments like the controversial 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Off the track, he's contributed to shaping modern F1 through his involvement with the FIA and the Formula One group. In 2025, Wolff leads a Mercedes team transitioning to a new era, with George Russell stepping up as team leader and Kimi Antonelli making his rookie debut. There's a generational shift underway. Rumors of interest in signing Max Verstappen continue to swirl, but Wolff has downplayed such speculation, emphasizing a long-term vision built around Russell and Antonelli. Christian Horner's exit from Red Bull mid-2025 leaves Wolff as the longest-serving and arguably most powerful team principal on the grid. With stability, deep resources, and a clear technical direction, Wolff remains a central figure in F1's evolving political and competitive landscape. Fred Vasseur, Ferrari. Frederic Vasseur took over as Ferrari's team principal in January 2023, becoming the first Frenchman to lead the Scuderia since Jean Todt. With a background in engineering and team management, Vasseur made his name co-founding Art Grand Prix and working with future stars like Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg. He later served as team principal for Renault and Sauber before being tapped to lead Ferrari. Vasseur's approach is calm and methodical, attributes that have brought a sense of stability to the often chaotic environment at Maranello. His tenure has seen a cultural shift within Ferrari, prioritizing long-term development and internal cohesion over knee-jerk reactions. In 2024, the team made progress, winning in Australia and Monaco, and finishing second in the Constructors' Championship behind Red Bull. The biggest headline under Vasseur came when he convinced Lewis Hamilton to join Ferrari for the 2025 season. This move sent shockwaves through the sport and demonstrated Vasseur's strategic pull and ability to attract top-tier talent. Despite a winless start to 2025, Vasseur retains the backing of Hamilton and Ferrari leadership. His focus remains fixed on the 2026 regulations, aiming to prepare the team for a fresh technical era. With Vasseur's experience and engineering background, Ferrari is attempting to rewrite its story, not as a team of potential, but of execution and results. Andrea Stella McLaren. Andrea Stella assumed the role of McLaren team principal in December 2022, following the departure of Andreas Seidel. A veteran engineer and performance director, Stella had previously worked with legends like Michael Schumacher and Fernando Alonso during his time at Ferrari, before moving to McLaren in 2015. His transition into leadership marked a shift in tone, measured, deeply technical, and focused on internal transformation. Under Stella's guidance, McLaren underwent a rapid and well-structured overhaul. 2023 began slowly, but the team introduced a significant upgrade package mid-season that drastically improved performance. By 2024, McLaren had become Red Bull's closest rival, finishing a strong second in the Constructors' Championship. The duo of Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri flourished under Stella's calm leadership and focus on data-driven development. Stella's greatest strength lies in his technical fluency and quiet authority. Unlike more theatrical principals, he works behind the scenes, empowering department heads and integrating McLaren's operations. This management style helped attract top engineering talent and streamline their car development cycle. The results have been impressive. McLaren's aggressive innovation and consistent points finishes have returned them to the sharp end of the grid. Looking ahead to 2026, Stella has positioned McLaren as a long-term contender. With investments in infrastructure like the new wind tunnel and simulator now bearing fruit, the team's foundation looks solid. Stella's emphasis on process and precision, rather than spectacle, has made him one of the most respected figures on the grid. James Vowles Williams. James Vowles became team principal of Williams in February 2023, after a long and successful tenure as chief strategist at Mercedes. His appointment was a signal of intent from Williams' owners, Doralton Capital, to elevate the team from backmarker status to a structured, data-centric contender. Vowles brought with him not only technical acumen, but also deep strategic insights from years of race-winning experience. Since taking charge, Vowles has focused on rebuilding the foundations of the team. This includes modernizing internal systems, recruiting top-level personnel, and instilling a performance culture driven by accountability and clarity. He has emphasized transparency and communication, breaking down the information silos that previously plagued the organization. Results began to show in late 2024, with Williams scoring more points than the previous 3 seasons combined. Alex Albin emerged as a reliable point scorer, while young talent Logan Sargent continued to develop under Vowles' mentorship. For 2025, the team has introduced a significantly improved chassis and power unit integration, aiming for consistent midfield contention. Off the track, Vowles is a calm and articulate figure, known for his thoughtful interviews and analytical mindset. He often draws from his Mercedes experience to inform long-term decisions, emphasizing that rebuilding a team like Williams is a multi-year project. His leadership marks a departure from reactive management, steering Williams with a steady hand towards sustainable competitiveness. In a sport where success often hinges on marginal gains, Vowles' detail-oriented approach and strategic patience are helping Williams rediscover its identity. The road to the top remains long, but the trajectory under Vowles is unmistakably upward. Ayao Komatsu Haas. Ayao Komatsu was appointed team principal of Haas F1 team in January 2024, succeeding Guenther Steiner in a surprise midwinter leadership change. Komatsu had been with the team since its inception in 2016, serving in various engineering and operations roles, including Director of Engineering. His promotion marked a shift in Haas's internal culture, from brash showmanship to quiet technical focus. Komatsu's leadership style is rooted in engineering fundamentals. With a background in mechanical engineering and previous experience at Renault and Lotus, he has long been known as a steady and analytical figure. At Haas, he immediately prioritized technical continuity, better communication between departments, and a streamlined development process to maximize performance within their limited budget. In 2024, Haas remained near the back of the grid, but signs of structural improvement began to emerge. Komatsu emphasized consistent car behavior, better tire management, and long-run pace over one-lap glory. He pushed for a closer collaboration with Ferrari, their power unit and parts supplier, to extract more value from the technical partnership. By 2025, Haas started to see marginal gains. The car was more reliable, race strategies more coherent, and the team began regularly competing for low-end points. Drivers praised the calmer, more calculated atmosphere in the garage, a far cry from the tumultuous years under Steiner. Komatsu's calm demeanor and engineering-first philosophy may not make headlines, but it is exactly the kind of leadership Haas needs during this rebuilding phase. He focuses on small, sustainable steps, aiming to build a resilient team that can climb back into the midfield fight over time. As the team looks toward 2026's regulation changes, Komatsu's steady hand is expected to be key to their evolution. Andy Cowell, Aston Martin. Andy Cowell was appointed CEO and team principal of Aston Martin in January 2025, replacing Mike Crack as the organization prepares for the next era of competition. Best known for his transformative role in developing Mercedes' dominant hybrid engines, Cowell brings a deep technical pedigree and reputation as one of F1's most respected engineering minds. Cowell's arrival signals a new chapter for Aston Martin, one focused on integrating technical leadership with executive oversight. His early priorities included enhancing the synergy between the power unit program, soon to be developed in-house with Honda, and the chassis department. Cowell also initiated a structural reshuffle within the team, designed to eliminate redundancy and accelerate innovation. Though 2025 results have been mixed, Cowell's influence is already evident in the team's long-term planning and developmental efficiency. Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll have continued to deliver consistent performances, but expectations remain high given the investment levels and ambition behind Lawrence Stroll's vision for the team. Cowell's technical expertise has reinvigorated Aston Martin's engineering culture. Engineers report greater autonomy and clearer direction, while interdepartmental collaboration has reportedly improved. The team's new factory, operational since mid-2024, has become a hub for this renewed focus on technical excellence. As Aston Martin positions itself for the 2026 regulation overhaul, Cowell's leadership is expected to be pivotal. His methodical approach and experience with championship-winning machinery could provide the edge needed to transition from midfield mainstay to title contender. His tenure represents a blend of engineering discipline and organizational renewal, a formula the team hopes will finally unlock its potential. Laurent Mekies, Red Bull. Laurent Mekies took over as team principal of Red Bull Racing in July 2025, following the departure of longtime boss Christian Horner. Mekies' appointment came during a turbulent moment for the reigning champions, marking a significant shift in leadership after more than a decade of stability under Horner. Mekies brings a varied and accomplished background to the role. He previously served as racing director at Ferrari, where he was involved in race strategy and driver operations, and worked at the FIA as safety director. His deep understanding of both team and regulatory dynamics gives him a unique advantage in navigating the often politicized F1 environment. Since taking over, Mekies has focused on maintaining Red Bull's performance edge while easing internal tensions, following a high-profile management shakeup. With Max Verstappen still leading the charge on track, Mekies has emphasized continuity and cohesion, aiming to stabilize the team before the 2026 regulation changes. His leadership style is more collaborative and less combative than his predecessors, and early feedback suggests improved morale within the engineering and strategy teams. He has kept Adrian Newey closely involved while also opening lines of communication across departments. With expectations sky high, Mekies faces the challenge of evolving a winning machine without breaking its rhythm. As Red Bull transitions into a new era of leadership and technical direction, Mekies must balance innovation with legacy, strategy with speed. Alain Permane Racing Bulls. Alain Permane stepped into the role of team principal at Racing Bulls, formerly AlphaTauri, in the mid-2025, inheriting a squad with deep Red Bull ties and a history of developmental unpredictability. Permane, a paddock veteran, previously served as sporting director at Alpine, and has decades of race engineering experience, dating back to the Benetton and Renault days. Permane's appointment followed internal restructuring amid the broader leadership shifts across the Red Bull family. Known for his no-nonsense approach and technical fluency, Permane was brought in to stabilize the junior team and bring clarity to its performance direction. Since his arrival, Permane has worked to streamline race operations and bring strategic consistency to a team often caught between experimentation and execution. With the 2025 car struggling to compete for points consistently, he has prioritized driver development and mid-season upgrades to close the gap to the midfield. Permane is seen as a safe and experienced pair of hands, valued for his ability to work under pressure and cut through chaos. His tenure may not be long-term. Many expect the role to evolve further with Audi's entry into the sport. But his current focus is ensuring Racing Bulls remains competitive, structured, and aligned with Red Bull's broader ambitions. As the team prepares for potential identity changes and partnership realignments in the run-up to 2026, Permane's stewardship provides stability during a transitional period. Jonathan Wheatley, Kick Sauber. Jonathan Wheatley took over as team principal of Kick Sauber, soon to become Audi's factory team, in April 2025, following a brief interim period led by former Ferrari boss Mattia Binotto. Wheatley, formerly Red Bull's sporting director, is one of the most experienced and respected operational leaders in F1. His appointment marks a pivotal moment for the Swiss team as it transitions into the works Audi outfit for 2026. Wheatley's expertise lies in logistics, race operations, and team coordination, skills he honed during Red Bull's championship years. At Kick Sauber, he's tasked with reshaping the team's operational structure, tightening processes, and laying the groundwork for Audi's future ambitions. Despite arriving mid-season, Wheatley has already made tangible improvements in pit stop execution, garage workflow, and team morale. With Audi's full factory entry just a season away, Wheatley's role is critical in bridging the present with the future. His job involves integrating German corporate expectations with Sauber's Heinwil-based heritage, all while ensuring the team doesn't fall behind competitively in the transition period. Though the 2025 results remain modest, Wheatley is less concerned with immediate glory and more focused on engineering a seamless transformation. His long-standing credibility in the paddock makes him a steady presence amid boardroom and branding changes. If Audi's 2026 debut is to be a success, Wheatley will be a key architect, building not just a team, but an identity capable of competing with F1's elite. Steve Nielsen, Flavio Briatore, Alpine. Alpine's leadership structure in late 2025 is, to put it mildly, unconventional. Following a string of underwhelming results and internal upheaval, the team appointed a dual leadership model. Steve Nielsen, a respected F1 operations veteran, and Flavio Briatore, the controversial former Renault boss, returned to oversee strategic direction. Nielsen's credentials are unimpeachable. Having served in senior roles at the FIA and across multiple teams, he brings order, process, and deep operational know-how. His task is to stabilize race weekends, ensure performance procedures are followed, and restore trust within the garage. Briatore, on the other hand, is a wild card. Banned from the sport in 2009 for his involvement in the infamous Crashgate scandal, his return in a strategic capacity has raised eyebrows. But his influence and ability to shake up complacent structures are undeniable. In this new role, he is reportedly focused on commercial partnerships and long-term brand revival. Together, Nielsen and Briatore represent a blend of stability and disruption. Alpine's 2025 season remains lackluster on track, but this leadership duo could herald a culture overhaul. Whether this approach will yield results or further confusion remains to be seen, but one thing is clear: Alpine isn't afraid to try something bold. With eyes on a more competitive 2026, Nielsen's structure and Briatore's vision could prove to be either a masterstroke or a footnote in the team's turbulent recent history.